Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Greatsword of Damnation upgraded to max level. This weapon has been a bit controversial in PvP due to the skill that it comes with called Golden Crux. Depending on what side of it you're on, it can be either really fun to use or a bit annoying, so we'll take a look at that as well as go through a detailed overview of the weapon. So I'll talk about the stats of the weapon, the moveset, the damage profile, some build options and item enhancements that you can use, as well as show some gameplay in both PvP and PvE so you can see what it looks like in action. So if you don't have this weapon yet, it is one of the rewards that you can get after defeating Midra, Lord of Frenzied Flame. Just turn in the remembrance that you get to the finger reader and you can choose this weapon as one of the two options. This is located in Midra's Manse, which is where we're at currently. So if we take a look at the map, this is in the Abyssal Woods region. And if you don't know how to get here, you can look at some resources online, but just sort of quickly to get you in the right direction here if you're not familiar. The beginning entrance to get here is in the Shadow Keep. So there is a tunnel that you'll take that will then empty into the ruins of Unte. This will then follow a path down to the Darklight Catacombs, make your way through there. That will then lead you to the Abyssal Woods. And then from there, you just kind of have to make your way to Midra's Manse. So once you get through there, you'll have this boss fight in this arena, defeat the boss, and then you'll get the remembrance, which you can then turn into the finger reader. Starting off with an overview of the stats and info for the weapon, I've got the base version on the left and the plus 10 version on the right. This is in the Greatsword category and comes with physical and holy damage, and at max level gets a D attribute scale for dexterity and faith and a C scale for strength. In terms of the minimum requirements for those stats, you'll need at least 20 strength, 20 faith, and 15 dexterity. So with this in mind, if you look at my stats on the right, I've got 55 strength, 50 dexterity, and 35 faith. As you can see, while I was playing around with a respec, even though both faith and dexterity have a D scale, this combination ended up giving me the most benefit to attack power at 809, and ultimately an additional 261 physical damage and 52 holy damage. Moving over to the skill that comes with this weapon called Golden Crux, you can see the description for that here. You leap up and skewer a foe from overhead. If successful, the weapon's barbs unfold to excruciate from within. It also has an additional follow-up input that you can do, which has an AoE damage effect, which releases barbs in the area. So the FP for this, it's 21 FP for the first attack and 10 FP additionally for the second attack, which would be 31 total for the full sequence. Now going through the moveset for the weapon, I'll do this in both single-handed and two-handed, and also provide some damage examples for each one so you have some context of the damage output for each. So starting off in single-handed mode, we'll do the regular attack combo, which is a 4 input. And then we've got the strong attack combo, which is 2 input. The charge strong attack. The charge strong attack with a follow-up combo. And then we've got the rolling regular. The rolling strong. We've got backstep regular. Backstep strong. And we'll turn around here and do a sprinting regular, sprinting strong, and then finally a jump regular and a jump strong. Now moving to two-handed mode, we'll go through the same sequence. So starting off with a regular attack combo, which again is a 4 input. And then the strong combo. The charge strong attack, charge strong with follow-up, and then we'll do the roll regular, roll strong, backstep regular, backstep strong, and then we'll turn around and do the sprinting regular, sprinting strong, and then finally a jump regular and a jump strong. And then looking at the skill called Golden Crux. So as mentioned, this does have 2 inputs that you can do, so we'll take a quick look at that. The first input is 21 FP, and then the second input is an additional 10 FP for 31 total. So this is the first input, where it's basically a jump attack where you can see you stab down towards the ground, and then if you want to do the follow-up, this then has an AoE additional impact, which you can see there. So This is what's kind of controversial for PvP, so you'll see some gameplay of that here in a bit when I show that. but in that regard, it's pretty gnarly when you land that attack, as you basically stab the spear straight through their head, and it's basically a grab attack. And then for just sort of PvE monsters and whatnot, it's still a good attack, especially that AoE, if you're dealing with multiple enemies, can do quite a decent amount of damage for a group of enemies as well. Alright, so now going through a build that I'm using for this weapon and some ideas around item enhancements that you can use to enhance the damage a bit. I'll also show some damage comparisons so you can see the impact of all of this as well after this. So starting off for my talismans, I'm using the two-handed sword talisman. To use it in two-handed mode, you get a damage buff there. I'm also using the Sacred Scorpion Charm to boost the holy attack aspect of it. The Shard of Alexander to boost the attack of the skill. And then finally, I'm utilizing the Claw Talisman to enhance damage on jump attacks. If you don't want to rely on jump attacks, or don't you want to use jump attacks, you could then, swap this out for something else. But that's currently what I'm using. And then I'm also using, for some additional buffs, the Holy Shroud and Cracked Tear in my Wondrous Physic to, again, increase that holy damage aspect of the weapon. And then also, kind of a go-to, using Golden Vow as a buff beforehand to get some additional damage increase. And then one other thing that I am using as well, you can see I have Letta's armor equipped. So if you're not aware, this does have an interesting buff to it, where if you look at the description, it slightly strengthens attacks following a dodge roll or backstep, as well as dash attacks. So this is going to actually give you some additional damage as well for doing things like rolling, backstep, as well as sprint attacks. So just wearing that armor as well, just for some little additional damage increases as well. Looking at some damage impacts for all of this, with all of our items equipped and our buffs active and whatnot, we'll go through a couple different attacks just so you can see the difference. So starting off, we'll get our Golden Vow going, and then also drink our Wondrous Physic to increase the holy damage. So we'll do this in two-handed mode with strong attacks. So starting off with a sprinting strong attack. Originally that did 1,136 damage. That's now 1,825. A jump attack originally was 1,246. That's now 2,094. And then for the skill, originally the first input was 1,333 and the second was 1,646. That's now 1,960 and 2,426. Alright, so that is a look at the Greatsword of Damnation and some build ideas that you can use with this weapon. Now I'll just go through and show some PvP and PvE gameplay so you can see what it all looks like in action.